The weekend is over and there was a lot of sport on the international front, with the Boks and Bafana recording victories in their respective matches. And over on the school front, it was business as usual as the derbies just kept dishing out the big hits. In the Western Cape, Paul Gymnasium remain unbeaten this season. However, they failed to win for the first time as they drew 17-all with Oakdale, whilst over in Cape Town, Wynberg managed to trump Sachs 15-7 in wet and muddy conditions. In the Eastern Cape, Queen's College thumped Stirling High School 57 and Grey High School walked away with their fixture against Ithembelihle Secondary School 75-7. Then over to the Zulu Kingdom, Hilton College defeated Durban High School with an impressive 23-3 victory on Saturday, whilst their arch rivals Michael House also won their match against a lackluster St. Charles side. And finally over to Gauteng, where King Edward School managed to secure their first win in weeks when they won 53-22 against St. John's, whilst in Middelburg High School were defeated 12-38 by their arch rivals HTS Middelburg. In the matchup of the weekend, it was a wet yet sunny day out in Cape Town, as if the weather was fighting its own battle in deciding what mood it was in. But everyone was out in Rondebosch to see the match of the year as Bishops hosted arch rivals Rondebosch. With a fierce rivalry between the two schools, the old boys weren't wavering in their predictions of the day's match.
I think it's going to be a very good game. Both teams are strong this year. Rondebosch, I think, should walk away with it. I mean, we've won the last game here. We have a very good away record at Bishops.
I believe that Bishops will win the game today. I feel if you look at past games, history, Bishops have dominated these games quite a lot.
You can't separate these two schools, right? Because they're friends with each other, they do the same things, and on the day, if you have 15 men, Bishop against 15 men, the guy who wants it more is gonna take it, you know? The fact that you guys are here just shows how big it is, you know. It's a massive game, you know. I think it was 100 years last year between Bishops and Rondebosch. And, you know, there's hundreds of people coming here just to watch a game of rugby. It's intense, you know. It just shows how good schoolboy rugby is in this country.
With all the talking now done, it was time for the 183rd meeting between the two schools to commence, with the Rondebosch lads playing in purple socks to raise awareness against bullying in schools. Rondebosch was having the better of the early exchanges, with Bishops unable to get out of their own half. The pressure paid off for the Bosch boys when Nick LaRue went over the white line for the first try of the game for Bosch. Bosch continued to assault the Bishops try line, and it eventually paid off again when a brilliant cross kick from the fly-off allowed the right wing to dot down for the second try. Bishops were in trouble but didn't give in, showing some attacking prowess in the first half, but the Rondebosch defence was not having any of it and kept driving the hosts back. A penalty given away by Bishops resulted in Rondebosch's third try, and a rolling maul from a line-out allowed flanker Philip Jankilson to secure another 5 points for Bosch, and would see them enter the change rooms at half-time, 17-0 up and looking like they might take the encounter. Some stern Alex Ferguson-type words must have been said in the change rooms as Bishops College finally showed up for the battle everyone was expecting in the second half. The hosts refused to allow Rondebosch out of their half and would pile on attack after attack, but Rondebosch soaked it all up and kept College from breaching their line. Their valiant effort would eventually come undone thanks to Bishops' fullback Gerard Pieterse, who went over the line after some individual brilliance, ensuring Bishops' first try and points of the match. Herman Shea added 2 more points to take the score to 17-7. Bosch responded shortly after with a try from inside centre and captain Ronnie Melk. Bishops continued to look much better than they did in the first half, but were unable to penetrate the Bosch defence. The match would go back and forth for the remainder of the game before Bishops was reduced to 14 men with a red card. In the end, it was no matter as the scores finished 22-7, which sent the Rondebosch kids into wild celebration. Bishops captain Kieran Herblitzel was terribly disappointed with the result.
I think that we had a few small errors that crept into our game that's unnatural to us, but we know that we're better than that actually cost us today, and all credit to Bosch. They took advantage of these errors that we made and put us down, and well done to them. It's 2 games that only really matter a year at Bishops, and that's the 2 Bosch games. Losing the one on the Pali that we have done since 2008 was the last time we won. Losing the game on the Pali is massive, and it's something that for us as first team players, we're going to have to live with for the rest of the life, and the school's going to have to live with it until next year when they play on the pies.
Rondebosch's captain Ronnie Melk couldn't hide the joy he and his team felt.
Oh, the win was great. We're so ecstatic about that victory. We couldn't be more pleased. Well, today was the 183rd match. We all knew that all the old boys that played before that, so this game is huge. We all just play for everyone who played before us and for everyone's in the school.
Another great weekend of sports on our school fields. We'll see you again on Friday for a look at what you can expect this weekend.